You're watching NewsView. And now, from Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, it's NewsView.
Good evening, folks. This is Michael Badger, and welcome to NewsView. A police officer in Decatur was shot, according to WCIA TV Channel 3 in Champaign, Illinois. Police say an officer was shot on North Tabor Avenue. Police Chief Todd Walker says officers were called to the 900 block around 6:30 a.m. on the 11th. When officers arrived, they issued a search warrant for drugs. They confronted suspect Dennis Wayne Kendall. Police say he had a gun and fired at police through a door. The narcotics officer was shot in the leg. He was taken to Decatur Memorial Hospital for surgery. Investigators say they expect him to recover. Kendall was arrested for attempted murder of a police officer along with several other charges. And also from WCIA, WCIA.com or IllinoisHomepage.net, the Virginia Theater is being renovated, as you may know, and Channel 3 says theater lovers will have plenty to look forward to when the Virginia Theater reopens. The theater is nearly a century old and is undergoing restorations. The auditorium has new plaster and has been repainted. It's also getting new lighting and seats. Workers even stumbled upon a surprise in the middle of the project. Quote, one of the biggest discoveries was the murals that are surrounding two of the Tiffany lights on each side of the dome. We figured out that they are original to the building when it was opened in 1921. So it took full efforts to completely restore them and reinstall them, and they are back in place and ready for the public to see, unquote, said Laura Atterbury, Marketing and Development Director with the Champaign Park District. The project will likely cost $5 million. The theater is set to reopen in April. And from WANDTV.com, Channel 17 in Decatur, a study out of Chicago has ranked Champaign County as having the state's third highest percentage of residents living in poverty. The Social Impact Research Center reports that 23.4% of the county's residents live in poverty. That's in comparison to Jackson, 33.7%, and Alexander, 31.3%. Marilyn Granberry, worker with the county's Salvation Army Social Services, says the numbers are in tune with the increasing amount of people they serve. She says nearly 2 years ago they would see approximately 17 people a day, whereas now that number has reached more than 60. And according to the Peoria Journal-Star at pjstar.com, in East Peoria, the East Peoria City Council approved a partial $1 million fix of the city's needy streets and its meeting Tuesday night, while at the same time acknowledging a $22 million problem. Quote, I'd love to be able to spend $3 million, unquote, said Commissioner Dan Decker, who oversees the city's performance work department. Quote, unfortunately, just not there, unquote, meaning the money. The council agreed to fund the $1 million street maintenance program with $600,000 taken from the motor fuel tax fund, about $100,000 from the fourth year of a 5-year grant from Illinois Jobs Now, and $300,000 from the gaming tax fund. About $100,000 would go to pay engineering fees and not for the actual repairing, repaving, and seal coating of the streets. No specific streets were discussed Tuesday. The city, along with its hired engineering firm, Patrick Mayer and Associates, will work on a priority plan in the coming weeks and put the work out for early birds this winter to take advantage of lower costs. Streets in East Peoria are rated on a 1 to 10 scale. Streets with a low number are in worse shape than streets with a higher rating. The plan for 2013 is to identify streets in the middle of the rating scale, 4s and 5s, and upgrade those to a rating of 8 and 9. And you can read more about that at pjstar.com or in the Peoria Journal-Star. And at sj-r.com, the State Journal-Register out of Springfield, they say an Eastern Illinois lawmaker is trying a novel tactic to raise campaign money. He's selling raffle tickets for chances to win guns. State Representative Josh Harms told the News-Gazette in Champaign that he likes guns and hunting. He says the raffle is a good alternative to accepting money from political action committees or lobbyists. The Republican from Watseka is selling tickets for $5 each. The top prize in the drawing will be a Ruger Mini 14 rifle. Other prizes include a Ruger revolver and Mossberg shotgun. Watseka is about 60 miles northeast of Champaign, and the first-term lawmaker isn't sure how much money he's raised. His father bought the guns, and 2 gift certificates also offered as prizes for $1,776 and donated them. Sales will continue into March. And stay tuned for more news and later weather for the Champaign, Springfield, Danville, Decatur area right here on Newsview after this. Welcome back to Newsview. I'm Michael Badger. According to WANDTV.com, which is from Channel 17 in Decatur, Illinois, they say, according to the Associated Press, the Illinois Department of Agriculture is launching a campaign to encourage consumers to buy locally grown fruits and vegetables. Agency Director Bob Fleider says the state could see economic activity grow by $20 billion a year if consumers increase spending on locally grown food by 10%. The campaign's slogan is, quote unquote, where fresh is. It will distribute materials highlighting Illinois produce to 200 grocery stores and 100 farmers markets. The department is accepting applications from stores and markets that would like to participate in the campaign. The vendors will receive free materials by March 15th. A federal grant is funding the campaign. And according to Reuters, Algerian forces launch operation to break desert siege. 25 foreign hostages escaped and 6 were killed Thursday when Algerian forces launched an operation to free them at a remote desert gas plant, Algerian sources said. As one of the biggest international hostage crises in decades unfolded. The standoff began when gunmen calling themselves the Battalion of Blood stormed the gas facility Wednesday morning. They said they were holding 41 foreigners and demanded a halt to a French military operation against fellow al-Qaeda-linked Islamist militants in neighboring Mali. The raid increased fears that jihadist militants could launch further attacks in Algeria, a vast desert country with large oil and gas reserves that is only just recovering from a protracted conflict with Islamist rebels during the 1990s, which cost an estimated 200,000 lives. You can read more about that at Reuters.com. And according to the Wall Street Journal, militants grabbed U.S. hostages. They say militants with possible links to al-Qaeda seized about 40 foreign hostages, including several Americans at a natural gas field in Algeria, posting a new level of threat to nations trying to blunt growing influence of Islamist extremists in Africa. You can see more about that at the Wall Street Journal. And now, in New Windsor, Connecticut, 3 girls were charged with gang assault Tuesday morning after they allegedly attacked a mom as she put her young child on a school bus. The girls, 2 13-year-olds and a 12-year-old, called what they did mobbing or popping on someone and told police that they did it for fun and chose their victim at random. The attack happened at 7:50 a.m. on Route 9 West near the Menard Street intersection. According to town police, the 3 girls attacked the mom as her child was getting on the bus. They repeatedly punched and kicked her and pulled her by her hair. The 4-year-old victim suffered head and internal injuries and had cuts and bruises all over her body. The condition could not be learned later Tuesday, and it was unclear whether she was taken to a hospital. Police said one of the 3 suspects was on suspension from school and the others had not gone to school. The suspects, whose names were withheld by police because of their age, were charged with second-degree gang assault, a felony, and endangering the welfare of a child, a misdemeanor. After being processed by police, they were turned over to their parents pending appearances in Orange County Family Court. And a similar story, according to Fox 32 at myfoxchicago.com, in Chicago, the Chicago Police Department has issued an alert in the 2nd District of Wentworth for several armed robberies that have occurred during the month of January. The offenders, described as 6 to 7 African-American females with light complexion between the ages of 16 and 20, enter cabs in the Loop. Upon arrival to their destinations on the south side, one of the girls chokes the driver with a rope or cord, while another threatens the cab driver with a knife, demanding cash. Authorities say the group then jumps out of the cab. If you have any information about this incident, call the Area Central Bureau of Detectives in Chicago at 312-747-8380. And you can read more about that at myfoxchicago.com. I'm Michael Badger. Stay tuned for weather right here on NewsView. Here's your NewsView weather for the Champaign, Illinois area. Friday night, windy, low 30. Saturday, windy, high of 45. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low of 17. Sunday, partly cloudy, high of 25. Sunday night, a low of 12 degrees Fahrenheit under mostly cloudy skies. This has been Michael Badger with your NewsView weather forecast.